New week, new episode. We left off with the full engine bay painted. We're getting on to this quite late in the week. It is actually Saturday. I tried to come up with a game plan, didn't really work. So the saying goes, proper preparation prevents a poor performance. I haven't prepared anything, so we're just going to see what happens and see how it goes. So my plan for this week was to try and make some vented wings, which would have consisted of chopping these and welding them in something like, I can actually line it up, it's hard to do it one-handed, something like this, so you could see the tyre. However, I neglected the fact that I can't weld aluminium, so that's no good. So what we're going to do now is we need to get the car rolling enough to get it outside so we can pressure wash the whole car, because obviously it's not ideal to start painting when it looks like, yeah, that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to get some rear wheels on it, get some dollies going, and then we will attach the prop shaft up by the centre bearing and try to roll it outside. Let's see how we get on. So what you're going to see me do now is attempt to find my rollerboard, which I had a few minutes ago. By the way, we have upgraded the setup. We now have external microphones rather than doing recordings after the filming. So I know you can't really see what I'm doing at this precise second, but all I'm doing is connecting the centre support brace up with two 13mm bolts. I just don't want the prop shaft dragging on the floor whilst I roll it out. Don't think they're the right bolts, but if they fit, they don't fit. Do you reckon one? I think one's going to support it just fine. So I've quickly got that done. Just going to relocate the camera. So I did have the original wheels for this car. However, I lent them to someone whilst they get their wheels refurbed. So we're going to have to just make do with what we've got. This is actually a Mercedes Space Saver wheel, because I've only got the one. I know, breathtaking content, putting a wheel on. Why am I putting so many bolts in? Come on. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Tyre is flat. But what we're going to do, quickly whip one onto the other side, underneath all this mess. That's how you know your project car's been a project car for too long. Your wheel bolts don't even want to go back into the hubs because it's crusty. I think we're going to go for these ones on the back. And then I think I'm going to put the pivot ones on the front somehow. Haven't quite got to that point yet. The good thing is, I've got some random subframe from an Audi A4 2015. So I have something that I can lift the car up. Happy as Larry. Let's have fun with it. So, throw the wire in over the engine bay. Sit this power steering thing here. Hang my caliper back up. Are we going to end up scooping an S5 off the floor? I don't know. But what I do know is, don't leave your hardware on your scuttle panel before you pressure wash your kiln. Or it shall be gone forever. Plan did not go to plan. Plan B. There is no plan B. Is that going to help? Probably not. Definitely not. The phrase of work smarter, not harder did not come into my head when I planned this. So what I did, I remembered I've got use of a forklift. sweet. Managed to do it. Let's just show you a bit of the grime and see how it comes up. This actually used to be a nice car. I know it's hard to believe, but once upon a time it did. Nowadays, not so much. But times are changing. Let's get you set up here. That'll do. Oh, that's all. My glasses are wet. Clean as a whistle, maybe not, but hey ho, it's fine. So to all my valeting friends out there, I don't want to upset you, but I am going to be brushing the car. Because who cares if I get swirl marks or brush marks or anything of the sort? I'm basically pressing the car paint. The title of this video is going to be washing the car the wrong way. I don't think I need to put a disclaimer saying don't do this at home. It's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, if you want to ruin your car, crack on. But do not take this as professional advice. Indeed, not. Oh, fix that later. If there's any consolation, I'm using some decent products. Just using them in the wrong way. So whilst we're on the topic of cars, I bought this car from Copart a long time ago, as you know. I think I paid £3,600 after fees, and oh boy, I didn't know what I bought, because when I got it, it was a shed. Even the recovery driver, when he dropped it off, says, "Oh, I think you've lost all your money on this one, because parts of the engine block, was sitting on his flatbed trailer." So it came with no keys. I got a key made for it. I turned the ignition on, and the car sat on fire. It just wanted to perish at that point, so it knew it had been crashed and it wasn't going to survive it anymore. But I've got a lot of money in this car. Too much that I dare to say. But let's just say I could probably buy 2 poor examples of one of these for the price that I've got in this one. So the amount of damage on it, I don't know how it was a Cat S, because there wasn't actually any structural damage on it. It was just airbags, every airbag. It snapped every engine mount, the gearbox mount. It shattered the prop shaft bearing in the middle. I had to replace the alternator because that had snapped off the engine. I had to replace the upper and lower sump. I had to weld the exhaust back up because it snapped at the weld. Punched a hole through my thermostat and water pump. And yeah, just loads of little bits. Obviously, tensioner pulleys, auxiliary belt, all little bits like that. But that was the main bulk of the damage. So I had to fully strip the whole bottom end of the engine to get it all fixed up. And then it broke again. It got parked up, and then I bought a new car because I couldn't be bothered to take the engine out to change the gearbox. So like I say, I bought a new car thinking, oh, it only needs a light front end. Nope, ended up taking the engine out to change the gearbox because the subframe had smashed into the bottom of the gearbox and punched a hole through it. So in hindsight, I should have just fixed this one. Still here, upsetting people by brushing my paintwork.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up.
So we've got the S5 clean now, well, cleaner. Obviously you can't see the 4995 on the windscreen anymore. And all in all, it just looks a lot better than it did. Believe it or not, this used to be a good looking car. Used to be, being the keywords. So here comes the fun bit now. We need to strip the door off, filler cap, boot, other door, and then yeah. Loud interruptions. So for anyone removing a door, you always want to leave the hinge connected to the car, because if you take the hinges off, you will have a nightmare trying to get it lined back up correctly. So the best way to do it is to take the bolts off the door, because they usually have a locator built into the bolt. So we're going to get that done now. And for anyone wondering why we're taking the doors off, it's because we're not doing a half-assed spray job on this car, because we're going to take all the door shuts off. We're going to paint all the door shuts. We're going to paint every single last little bit of this car. Just need to find the right tools to get the job done. Happy days. So basically all we're going to do is we're going to lift the wiring harness up, clip, if we can. Just like so. So this is what I was explaining. This bit here has a locator to center the door back to where it should be. And then once they're out, the door will still be supported until you... Oh, I forgot the latch inside. Probably want to undo that first. So now we're just going to do that again, but in reverse. Because I'm an idiot. First, you want to take off the inner latch. I won't lie and not say that my interior is soaking wet, because it most definitely is. There we go. Now, when you open the door, it'll just all come away. As easy as that. Not the easiest things to maneuver. That's fine for me. It's on there, it'll do. The previous body shop broke that. The reason we took the filler cap off is because we need to paint the inside of it the same colour that the car's going. So, door shut. So now what we're going to want to do is to get the boot open, but I have no power to the car, I have no wiring to the ECU or anything handy, so that can be a problem for another day, because with every problem is a solution. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to earth this straight to the chassis here. And then we're going to get this, untangle it. And where your ECU sits, you have a posi. And now we've got power. Boot latch isn't working. Ta-da! It's almost as if I knew what I was doing. So now, I shall bring you round here. Excuse the racking that's in the way. I can't really do much about my surroundings. Start by taking these out. Show them some more clips here. Throw them in the boot. Apparently, my phone does this cool thing, whereas if I get the 20%, 10% battery low, then it just stops my recording, which is fun. But yeah, anyway, the boot lid is off. I've just got it down here now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to remove the kick plates. I believe that these are just stuck down with tape. So yeah, they've got 3 little clips and just tape. So now we need to get a toffee wheel, I think it's called, and we'll get rid of this glue. quite a mess. Now she can do that to the other side.